Hello everyone. Been quite a while since I've made another video. Thought I would tackle Black Ops 6 now that it is out and we've got ourselves yet another zombie mode. Figure I haven't quite become a Call of Duty zombies YouTuber, far from what I would call a zombies YouTuber, of course. But I did decide I was going to make one of these videos just as a critique and also an appraisal for the way Black Ops 6 Zombies was handled. Since last year I made a video pretty much shitting all over Modern Warfare Zombies, I figured I would make one for this game as well. And I believe they finally hit the mark on this one. They finally did it right. So, let's get right into it. There are two maps in this game right now, Liberty Falls and Terminus. When the new maps come out, along with the new perks, new weapons, and all that stuff, I'm probably not going to cover that, just because I don't really care enough about like reviewing maps and shit to really go into any of that. This video is just specifically going to be about Black Ops 6 Zombies and how Treyarch handled it and where it's going from here. So we're going to load right into Liberty Falls. I am working on launchers at the moment. As you can see, I already got Dark Matter. I did finish the multiplayer grind before the zombies grind. Thankfully, I did it before Season 1 when they broke all the shit in multiplayer, so that shit's done. But yeah, I've been working on launchers in zombies for the time being because I heard that they were probably the most annoying to get done in zombies. And boy, howdy, was I right. Or at least the YouTubers I watch were definitely right. So we're going to load into Liberty Falls here. This is going to be a solo game. I'm obviously not going to be playing with other people. And right off the bat, let me just say, this is a true return to form, round-based zombie game mode. This is on par with, I would say, a cross between Modern Warfare Zombies, which honestly feels sour on my fucking tongue to even say that. A cross between Modern Warfare Zombies and Cold War Zombies. And the reason I say it's a cross between... The reason I would even... Hold on, let me lower this really quick. I did forget to change my settings. That is my fault. The reason I'm even mentioning Modern Warfare Zombies in the first place is because... Sorry, it's still a little too loud. That should be fine. The reason I'm still mentioning it is because there are some aspects to these two new maps we've gotten that are very similar to how I feel Modern Warfare Zombies worked, and not in the fact that it was open world, but more in the atmosphere of the game. Like, this is the launch map of Black Ops 6 Zombies right here. We're in a town which I can very accurately describe as basically, if someone told me to describe the year 1980 in a single, like, picture, I would use this map to describe it, because it's basically 1980 in a single picture. You got your radio stores, your ice cream shop, you got a church up the hill, you got a bunch of roads that are all interconnected, you got the motel here. It's pretty much 1980 in a single map, and it's kind of cool, at least the first time you're playing through it. But you start to get the feeling very quickly that it is not quite carrying the same atmosphere as a lot of other, like, launch maps for zombies. And that is why I would compare it to Modern Warfare Zombies, not because it's dog shit, because Modern Warfare Zombies is dog shit. Made a whole fucking video about that. Not necessarily because of that, but because it lacks the atmosphere that I would say Zombies has. And quite frankly, atmosphere is everything. Like, you can make a cool round-based zombie map, but if you have it looking like this shit, like completely daylight outside, like I guess it's almost dusk or almost dawn, and there's just like no fog, no sense of eeriness or anything, like, I don't know. It doesn't quite capture the atmosphere of what zombies should have, in my opinion, and that is the extent of where I would compare it to Modern Warfare Zombies, because as for everything else, it's pretty much a return to form. This is round-based zombies in a nutshell, and it is beautiful. We have stamina up here. Yeah, here's the bowling alley as well. It's my favorite place to train zombies on this map. But yeah, the reason I would like, and the reason I'm going to compare this as well to Cold War, as well as Modern Warfare Zombies, I would compare it far more to Cold War. Probably like a 90-10 split in favor of Cold War. Reason I would compare it to that as well is because they brought back pretty much every system Cold War used. The weapon upgrade station that allowed you to upgrade the rarity of your weapon, I would show that off, but I'm not quite there yet. But you can see it on the wall here, like there are green tier weapons already here on round 4. It's got the ammo crates just like Cold War had and D-Machine. It's got the crafting benches. You can craft yourself score streaks and stuff. It's got armor vests. That's also another bit of a similarity to Modern Warfare Zombies, I suppose. It's just some added survivability on top of having Juggernog or whatever. Because zombies do get pretty densely packed in this mode as well. It is not easy. Like, it's round 4 right now, and I already got this many zombies on me. I'm playing by myself, of course. If you played with a full squad of people, you'd have easily this whole street covered in zombies, because it scales up. Also, we got PhD Flopper back. That is beautiful. Because, as you may or may not know, the best perk you can have when you're running with launchers like I am, you can just shoot it right at your feet. Take 0 damage. It's awesome. Anyway, we should be right... Oh, need 70 more points. But yeah, it's pretty much a return to form, similar to Cold War, I would say. Very much more similar to Cold War. They brought us back, like I said, weapon rarity and stuff, being able to craft score streaks at benches with salvage. The Pack-a-Punch machine, obviously, which still has exponentially increased costs for upgrading your weapons. Like, it goes 5k, 15k, and 30k, I believe, respectively, for each Pack-a-Punch variant. And then there's the ammo mods you can use on all your weapons. It's exactly like Cold War in that regard. The only thing I would say, it doesn't quite hit the mark. And I'll get more into that here in a second, once I have my footing. Gobblegums too, of course. Gotta love Gobblegums. I actually never was really a fan of Gobblegums back in Black Ops 3. Even though I know there were plenty of Gobblegums that were just downright broken. You could get to such high rounds with them. I just never really dabbled in any of it because I thought that some of them made the game too easy. And more often than not, that was true. Some Gobblegums were just so busted they would give you free rounds. Literally. Anyway. Yeah, we'll grab the nuke. Normally I wouldn't if I was trying to go for points and stuff. But yeah, here you have your weapon rarity. As you can see, the salvage costs are insane. Like, it goes 500, and then I believe 1,000, and then 2,500, and then 5,000. Right now it's showing 9,000. I think that's just because if you wanted to go from gray rarity to orange rarity, it would be 9,000. But if you were going from purple to orange, it'd only be 5,000. Still, salvage costs are much higher. They did remove the rare salvage from Cold War, replaced it with just ordinary salvage, because I guess that was a little bit redundant to have rare salvage with it. But in return for removing rare salvage, they also decided to up the costs on that as well, which in my opinion is fine. A lot of people have been complaining about that since Black Ops 6 Zombies launched. I don't really see what all the complaining's about. Like, you guys, you don't want zombies to be too easy, like Outbreak or Modern Warfare Zombies, but you also don't want it to be too hard. Like, that's another thing. There are some weapon camos that are a lot more difficult than the Cold War Zombies as well. I believe in Cold War Zombies, you needed 1,500 crit kills. And in this game, it's 2,000 with each gun. It's 500 more. It's not a big deal, but people complain about it nevertheless. I guess because they just like to complain. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and you can do this with pretty much any gun too, as long as it's not a wonder weapon. Any base weapon you get in the game, whether it's from multiplayer or whatever, you can upgrade the weapon rarity from gray all the way to orange. Another new perk here, by the way, Melee Macchiato. It is very mid, I would say. It's basically, I guess, their answer to the Bowie knife, except it is a little bit stronger than the Bowie knife. It does make zombies a lot easier to deal with on later rounds. And it also has another side effect of making the melee weapon stronger in zombies as well. Like, not just your weapon butt, but the combat knife and the baseball bat currently in the game also get a damage bonus from it as well. So, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. That's the only new perk I can see they have added so far. I have played both maps. I've played this one a lot more than Terminus. But in my experience, that is the only new perk I have seen. And it is pretty mid. Like I said, it's not game breaking. I'm sure it would be if you were using a melee weapon, but yeah, it's not anything to write home about. It's basically just a cheaper version of the Bowie knife, and it does get stronger than the Bowie knife if you augment it, which is another thing I'm going to talk about in this video. Weapon or perk augments are the new system. So in Cold War, when you wanted to upgrade a perk, you would have to get Dark Ether crystals from playing zombie rounds. In this game, you don't do that. You don't get crystals. Instead, you select an augment for a perk that you want to research in the menu before you start a game of zombies. And then from there, you play the game of zombies, and whatever you have selected as your research will get completed during however many games of zombies you play. And you can freely switch them between, I believe it's all the perks, all of the ammo mods, and all the field upgrades. And they all have different minor augments and major augments you can add and customize them however you wish. In my opinion, this is probably the most... what's a good word? It's probably the most ambitious and also one of the coolest ways that they've changed the perk system in Call of Duty. Because in Modern Warfare Zombies, it was pretty much just, oh, you get what you get. You had stamina up, and it's like, okay, cool, well, I got vehicles on the map, what do I need stamina up for? You know, stuff like that. In this game, a lot different, obviously. Round-based zombies again. You don't have to go looking for the zombies anymore, they come right to you. It's awesome. But the perk augment system, very cool. Very cool. Definitely a big W for Treyarch. It makes it essentially so that whether you're playing by yourself or with a group of friends or with a bunch of randoms, you can freely change how you choose to play with any of your perks set up. So obviously, no perk limit anymore. That's awesome. You can buy every perk on the map if you want. But now, you actually have an excuse to say, okay, I'm going to play with this perk setup a different way than someone else's perk setup, because you'll have some augments, for example, for stamina up, where one allows you to sprint for a longer duration, and another one allows you to throw equipment while you're sprinting. So, bunch of different stuff you can use there. And every single perk has stuff like that, so Melee Macchiato included. So it makes it a very fun time. So, Black Ops 6 Zombies. I believe I've gone over it enough, but yes. It's a return to form of round-based. I'd say my only criticism at face value would just be the lack of atmosphere on this map. And I know they'll be adding more maps later on, but yeah, just, I don't know. It's like, it's a town from the 1980s, but there's a few buildings on fire. Like, it's, I don't know, it doesn't quite scratch the same itch that Deriz or D Machine or the Shadows of Evil or anything like that gave me when I first played those. So, yeah, I'd say all it's really missing is the atmosphere. If they added some, like, fog to this map, or some, like, I don't know, if they made the lighting a little dimmer, like if the sun was a little bit further down, that might add to the ambiance and the creepiness factor and make it a better zombies map. But as it stands right now, it's just kind of mid. And I follow Tim Hansen. He's another zombies YouTuber. I say another as though I'm a zombies YouTuber. But I'm really not. You know, I have criticism, but I like to speak my piece, and then I like to go. I'll make another video in like 2 years or whatever when the next Zombies installment comes out, and I'll talk about that too. But I'm not really like Tim Hansen or the others making like full-blown documentaries and shit about how awesome each individual map is, or zombie map challenges. Much as I would like to do that, I don't think it's in the cards for me. But yes, as a content creator, I do follow Tim Hansen quite a bit. I believe his zombies takes are very, very good. He definitely knows what he's talking about. And when I watched his video for Black Ops 6 Zombies, I very much got the same vibe that he did. That this is a very mid map. It's great to have... It's really great to have round base back. I'm never going to complain about that. You'll never hear me complain about that. I will always appreciate Treyarch for bringing that back to us. It's just that it doesn't quite, even though we got the round base back, it still doesn't quite scratch the itch. I don't really know how to say it. Not the same as like buying Black Ops 3 on, you know, Friday night or whatever, gaming with your buddies on the Giant or Shadows of Evil and having a fun old time and getting freaked out by zombies jumping out in dark corners, you know what I mean? Like, it still has that Modern Warfare zombie vibe that's just like, okay, not creepy so much as it is just like, oh, hey, there's zombies over there, let me blow them up really quick, you know? Credit where credit's due, though. Round-based is back, and it is glorious. But now I'm going to start getting into the criticism. I think I've sucked this game off enough in the last probably 20 minutes of talking that I should now start being a little more critical. So, first thing I would like to be critical about, and probably my biggest grievance, is the fact that launchers in particular, I know this seems very niche because it's only one weapon category, launchers in particular have barely any ammo. Basically, oh god, I'm gonna die here. Basically, you get 7 rockets, or 20 if you pack-a-punch it, and that's it. Every time you want to get more ammo for it, either luck out on a max ammo, or buy more for 250 points, or 1,000 if it's pack-a-punched. One thing I don't understand, another criticism to that effect, the way that buying ammo works with regards to pack-a-punch weapons. Now, I understand why pack-a-punched ammo would be more expensive. What I don't understand is why pack-a-punched ammo is exponentially more expensive the more the pack-a-punch is upgraded. So, for example, right now, pack-a-punch tier 1, the ammo is going to cost 1,000. At pack-a-punch level 2, it's 2,500, and I believe at 3, it's 5,000. Now, this is pretty ridiculous, considering that one zombie kill is 90 points. 90 points. I need to kill probably, like, what, 30 or 40 zombies just to refill my ammo for a launcher that has 30 rockets, not even, like 20 rockets. Launcher with 20 rockets, I need to spend $5 grand to refill it, and zombies only drop 90 points each, because it operates on the same system, and this isn't really a criticism of Black Ops 6 zombies as much as it is Cold War or anything like that, because those games did the same exact thing. Points on kill rather than hit. Before, you used to get the 10 points per bullet shot, and then like 80 when the zombie died or whatever. And it was a lot better, because you could actually rack up points, and you could afford to spend 5 grand on a pack-a-punch weapon for more ammo. Because it's like, hey, I got fucking... You know, I'm getting a lot more points here. I can afford to spend more points, you know? But in this game, you can't. You really can't. Like, one round of these parasites, for example, I'll probably only get like 1,500 points. Assuming I don't use all my rockets to kill them, I've effectively made 500 points in that one round just because I'd have to spend 1,000 just to get my ammo back, you know? Granted, it's a bad example because parasites do reward you with a max ammo when the round is over, but I digress. It's the principle of the matter, I feel, that is the most relevant there. But yeah, that's probably my first criticism. It's not really the worst thing in the world. I can get over it. Not a big deal. It's like, well, whatever. It just means I have to kill more zombies to get more ammo or whatever. And that's fine, because I like killing zombies. That's what this game's all about. It's just a little annoying, I guess. So my next criticism is probably... Well, I think it's better to save that until after I see it spawn. I haven't actually seen it spawn yet. Oh, there he is. Mangler. They're supposed to spawn on round 11. I'm not sure why it took until 13 for them to show up. So here's the problem with special zombies. Now, I had no problem fighting special zombies back in Cold War, like on Firebase Z or whatever, where you'd have, like, 1 Mangler every round and, like, 2 Mimics or something. That's fine. You know, that's not a big deal. This game kind of takes that to an extreme. And I don't know if Treyarch just thinks it's more fun to fight, like, 20 Manglers and 3 Abominations as opposed to just having a shitload of zombies and then 1 or 2 Manglers every round. It's a little bit counterproductive in my opinion. Because on the later rounds, you can't really tell now because it's only round 13. But on the later rounds, you don't got 1 Mangler. You got like 5. And not only that, but every now and then you'll also get an Abomination that'll spawn in. Those weird 3-headed dogs from Modern Warfare Zombies. Now, spoilers. I'm going to say this right now because I played the campaign. I know a lot of people haven't yet, so spoiler alert right now. If you don't want to listen, skip ahead or just close out the video. It doesn't really matter. In the campaign for this game, there's a mission where it's basically like the Cold War mission where zombies show up. There's a mission where you gotta fight through a bunch of zombies and get a bunch of key cards, and it's pretty cool and pretty creepy. It's actually a lot creepier than playing the actual zombie mode, which feels kind of counterintuitive, but whatever. In that mission, there's very clearly, like, a ton of references to the fact that mimics and disciples still exist. In that mission, you're fighting, I believe, 2 Manglers, a mimic, a disciple, and an abomination. However, in both of these zombie maps so far, we have seen neither mimics nor disciples. The only special zombies in these zombie maps right now, both of these zombie maps, are Manglers, Abominations, and a new special zombie called an Amalgam. I'm not even going to get into that. An Amalgam pretty much just looks like a Treyarch developer's failed attempt at making a fleshy-looking version of the Mimic. It's really fucking creepy, especially if it grabs you. But I don't know, it just doesn't have the same creep factor as a Mimic, which kind of makes me wonder, for this map too, why, instead of giving us abominations, why didn't they just give us Mimics? How cool would it have been to just be walking along the road, you know, walking past a car or one of these street signs or whatever, and a Mimic just pops out and attacks you, just like they did in Firebase Z in Cold War. That would have made me piss my pants. But no. Instead, every round we get, like, 2 Manglers, and then every, like, 3 or 4 rounds or so, you get an Abomination that is super difficult to kill, even with a papped weapon, and a Wonder Weapon. Actually, a Wonder Weapon is pretty much the only reliable way to kill one on this map. Because just like in Modern Warfare Zombies, the Abominations have to have extremely tanky, beefy health for no apparent reason. Even if you got really busted weapons. So yeah, I don't know. As far as like zombie design goes, that's another bit of criticism I have. It's just the fact that there are too many special zombies. I would be fine if it were only a few Manglers here and there, and if they removed Abominations and replaced them with Disciples or Mimics. That would be fine. Like, Abominations shouldn't even be a special zombie as far as I'm concerned. Like, they're just annoying. The only efficient way to kill an Abomination is to throw a grenade in its mouth. And it's kind of hard to do when you got, like, 100 zombies trailing your ass because you're trying to train them. You got a big fucking dog creature that takes 1,000,000 bullets to kill trying to get in your way. It's pretty annoying. So yeah, another bit of criticism there. I wish Abominations didn't exist. I wish they wouldn't spawn as often as they did. And I wish that would get fixed. And you know what? Maybe, oh, speak of the devil. Got an Abomination right there. Not even gonna bother with it. I'll just walk this way. Have fun with that. For those of you wondering, by the way, why I don't have a Pack-a-Punch camo, it's because I turned it off. And I suppose that's another cool little detail about BO6 Zombies, is the level of customization is absolutely insane. You can turn off Pack-a-Punch camos, you can turn off squad fill, like if you're looking to play a multiplayer game with your friends, but you're not looking for randoms to join, like, that's all an option for you. The amount of, like, pandering to the player base there is insane. I'm gonna die here. Fuck. Not pandering so much as it is just like, it's what we've been asking for, and they finally delivered. So it's great. Because I'm not gonna turn on Pack-a-Punch camos if I have Dark Matter. The Pack-a-Punch camos, I guess that's another bit of criticism. They don't look very good, in my opinion. Pack-a-Punch camos in this game kind of just look like glowy flower petals for some reason. And they are animated, but I mean, I don't know, they just look weird to me. So I tend to keep them off. But yeah. I suppose my last bit of criticism, if I can even remember what it was, because quite frankly there's so much to go through. I don't even know if I have any. Quite frankly, it's pretty awesome. Like, even barriers now work differently. You don't have to pay for the full price. If you're well, you do in a solo game, but when you're with your friends, you can pay for half the barrier, make them pay the other half. That's what makes it so great. You can split the workload. What is a little annoying, though, is you can't share points with other players anymore, though. I believe you could in Modern Warfare Zombies. But in this game, you can't drop points, you can't drop guns, you can't do any of that. Like, if you're playing with a squad and you want to give them points, you can't do it. You can't drop them guns, none of that stuff. So I think we'll exfil here. And I think I'll probably end the video off after that. But, yeah, I just wanted to say this is great. It's a return to form. I honestly have no major complaints. Did you see that? Fucking 3 rockets in its face at Pack-a-Punch blue-tiered weapon. And I only took like an eighth of his health bar. That's absolutely insane. That is beyond stupid. But yeah, I guess my only other complaint really is just the fact that like some of the guns feel a little bit busted for zombies right now, and not in the good way. Like some of them are really glitchy, or some of them are clearly not working how they should, or some things are, yeah, like some things are too overpowered, some things are too like underpowered, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, aside from that, it's all been pretty much fine. I am a big fan of this zombie mode, and I think it's awesome, and I hope that it stays this way for the foreseeable future, because I have heard that Treyarch is going to be developing the next Call of Duty game as well as that new zombie mode as well. And I'm just hoping against hope that if they're making another, oh god, I'm a level with you guys. I don't think I've actually exfilled before, so I guess I didn't realize this many zombies would pop out when I did it. I may not successfully exfil here. That's okay, I'll do my best. I actually forgot to unlock that ice cream shop too. I could have done that. Would have saved me a lot of time. But that's fine. In any case, I think it's great. It's a lot better than Outbreak. It's a lot better than Modern Warfare Zombies. It's about on par with Cold War. I would say Cold War might be a little better, but that's probably only because Cold War just had better ambiance and it had better launch maps. I am of the opinion that this is a very mid launch map for zombies. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna die here. I think that as far as zombies goes, oh god. Oh, did I do it? Yes, I did it. I honestly didn't think I would. Wait, what? Oh shit, never mind. I was like, oh, that's my character running to the helicopter. Nope. Mangler fucking straight up murdered that guy and stranded my ass. Alright, whatever. That's fine. I'll get it down eventually. But yeah, as far as launch maps go, it's very mid. I'd honestly say the same for Terminus. Like, Terminus gives me like Rebirth Island vibes, and Liberty Falls gives me like the same vibe as the fuck. I don't remember the name. The last DLC zombie map from Cold War. I forgot the name of it, but it gives me that vibe because it's kind of just like a town in the middle of nowhere, and it's got like an arcade and everything, and it's very mid. I would not put it on par with Cold War. Cold War had a much better launch map because it felt like a return to it felt like a truer return to form, I suppose. It was more just like, hey, here's a remake of Noct. Whereas this is just like, okay, here's a map that looks like we ripped it straight out of the campaign. Although I will give Treyarch credit, this is not a map from the campaign. It is an original map, it just feels like something that came out of the campaign, and it probably shouldn't have felt like that. So, I don't know. But I digress. I wanted to make this video for anyone who does watch my videos, and it's not a lot. If you've been thinking about buying this game, specifically for the zombies, I would say probably wait until it's on sale. Not because it's bad, but because, like I said, it's just very mid. It's not the greatest installment. I would put it, if I had to put it in a tier list between S and F, I'd probably put it in B tier, very, very close to C tier. Like, just around that, like, mid level, I guess. Not quite as good as Cold War, but it's at least making the effort to return true to form round-based zombies, and it's definitely succeeding in that regard. The round base is back, and that's what we wanted. And we're glad to have it back. And here are the masteries, by the way: the gold, the opal, which is the zombie diamond, the afterlife, which is kind of weird. It's like a sigil, I guess. And then nebula, which, in my opinion, looks better than dark matter. A lot of people tend to disagree, but I think Nebula's got a lot more color to it, and it just looks much prettier, in my opinion. The only reason I went for dark matter first is because I wanted an excuse to show it off to my friends while I was grinding my zombie camos. So there you have it. In any case, yeah, good zombie mode. Not bad, not great. These are the augments, by the way. You will have to unlock the later ones by researching other ones first. But these are just like the examples I mean. Every perk gives you a selection between a major augment and a minor augment. You're allowed to equip one major and one minor. And right now, I have the hard target, the minor one, which reduces my damage while sprinting from projectiles. And then the major one, which makes me immune to fall damage. As you can see there, the more you continue researching this stuff while you're playing zombie games, the more augments you unlock and the more you can equip to your specific perks and change your playstyles. And I think, and every single perk has this. Every single one. Which makes it so fucking cool. Like, this is how the perk system should be going forward. I really like it. I think it's very cool, very creative. And I really hope they don't mess with this. It adds more replayability, for one. Like, you can't just go into a game and have every perk maxed out in like 5 games by spending dark ether crystals anymore. It's very awesome. Same with field upgrades as well. All of them get better and better over time. Like, even this one allows you to revive your friends if you hit them with the beam. That's the last one you unlock. So, very cool stuff. In any case, that is what the zombie mode looks like right now. These are the wonder weapons in the game. Obviously, we got the jet gun from Die Rise, which is probably also Transit, I think. Which is probably one of the most, useless wonder weapons from the older games. But in this game, it's actually pretty decent. Like, I wouldn't say it's better than the ray gun, but it's definitely nice to have it back. And then the Beam Smasher, which I haven't actually used yet, but I've seen people use it, and it does not look very good either. Kind of wish we could just get the Rai-K 84 and the Wonder Waff back, and maybe we'll get that later on, but for now, this is what we're stuck with, unfortunately. But yeah, I digress. This is what we've got for now, and it's awesome. Glad to have Round Base back, and I hope they stick with it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.